Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video on the autumnal or fall equinox happening on Thursday, September 22nd, up here in the Northern Hemisphere at 9:04 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, New York City time for reference. And for those folks in the Southern Hemisphere, this will be the vernal or spring equinox. I will link the video I did, if I'm recalling correctly. I did a video in March up here when we passed through the spring vernal equinox. And so let's get started. I'm really excited. This is my time of year. I am a Libra sun and rising. And so for all of my fall or spring babies, wherever you guys are in the world, it's our season, it's time. But some of you may have been feeling this shift, this energy, this movement, kind of like we have. I keep getting this one foot in one door as we're wrapping things up, another foot ready to get started and move ahead and kind of hunker down a little. And so let's talk about the autumnal vernal equinox. Excuse me, I'm going to focus on the autumnal, the fall equinox up here. And like I said, I'll post a video for the spring, the vernal equinox that I did. So this happens when the sun crosses the equator from north to south, and obviously from south to north for those in the Southern Hemisphere. And essentially on the day of the equinox, we will have an almost equal amount of light and darkness. So there'll be some type of balance. And at the same time, we are ushering in a new astrological season. The sun is entering in the sign of Libra. And so we are leaving Virgo, even though just a day later, Mercury is shifting into Virgo with its retrograde. So it's almost like a flip-flop. It seems like Virgo and Libra have been kind of dancing around together and extending their seasons in a way. One is starting early, one is kind of going into the other. So it's interesting how we're going to still feel the influences of this sign, or these signs, I should say. Anyways, as we enter this equinox, the days are going to become shorter, days are going to become darker, obviously. We're going to, for most parts, depending on where you are in the world, experience colder temperatures or a shift towards a lightening of temperatures. And there's going to be an overall slowing down, because when you think about fall, it's a death, right? Right before the rebirth when we enter Scorpio season. But it's like a clearing away, wrapping away, a lot of things ending, coming to conclusion. And there's almost a slowness, a stillness, almost like stopping at a stop sign. And I got a channeled message earlier, which I'll post tomorrow at the time of this recording, about this. Almost like we all lined up at the stop sign and the universe is like, okay guys, hold up. It's time to actually just stay in this moment, in the present. And that's really what the equinox is about. It's about reconnecting to ourselves, going inward, really appreciating not just what's going on around us, no matter what is going on, I should say, but really tapping into our inner reserves, getting to know ourselves on a deeper level. This is a prime time for different types of inner work, like shadow work, for example, inner child healing. I mean, any time of the year is good, but especially this time as we slow down. This is definitely a time for rebalancing our energy, right? I'm not going to go too deep into Libra season, but you know, Libra is all about the intellect, the mind, communication. It is an air sign, and so it's also it's the only sign that's inanimate, right? And it's all about balancing ourselves in relation to others, right? Because Libra rules the 7th house of partnerships. So not coincidentally, the equinox falls on this day too. So Libra's a cardinal sign, and just like Capricorn, Cancer, and Aries, it marks the beginning of each season and it starts us off. So you may find yourself actually thinking, as you reflect in your life and in the different areas of your life, what is it that needs a little bit more rebalancing? Where am I feeling a little bit off kilter? Because Libra brings all of this up to our awareness. And with the equinox, this is too what it's all about, which is why we may feel a little bit of going inwards, a little bit of wanting to tap into solitude, into reflection, introspection. And with these retrogrades that we have around us, this is a prime time to do that. At the same time, the Libra energy is also very social, very communicative. So you may find yourself feeling that tug of like, you know, I want to stay in, but at the same time, I want to hang out with friends. So again, it's about balance, and this is what it's bringing to our attention. This time period is also really about surrendering and releasing control, because as you notice around, as we see the seasons change, as things kind of quiet down, slow down, and come to, I would say like a pause, like a stillness, there's a lot of things out of our control that you just have to either let go, or you can continue holding on tight, and that it obviously induces suffering. But this season teaches us to focus on what it is that we can control within our sphere, and what it is that we may need to work harder on letting go, right? Because it's easier said than done when people are like, just let go and let God, let it flow, and all of those adagios, all of those sayings. But this season teaches us, just like the seasons are cyclical in nature, the season we're entering is all about releasing. It's all about wrapping up the old, wrapping up who we were in the previous 6 months, 7 months, or years, whatever time frame. I don't really like to put like discrete time frames, because it could be a month before, or 6 months, or even a year, but who you were and who you've been, the person you've been working on. I'm denoting yourself, obviously. We're coming into a season where a lot of us are letting go of habits, of beliefs, of patterns, of people, especially with this Mercury retrograde in Libra, now shifting into Virgo on the 23rd of September. We are really fine-tuning our lives, really focusing on what do I want? What is not giving me peace of mind? What is not connected to my heart? Because Libra is very much ruled by Venus, right? So we are going to be paying attention to matters of the heart, love of all kinds, I should say, with family, with friends, with romantic partners, money and finances, and in general, aesthetics, beauty, how we see it, right? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So the fall season is ushering in a lot of this energy, a lot of this contemplation, a lot of this redoing, rebalancing, reassessing. So in essence, this is a really wonderful time to, again, assess, reassess perhaps, your life in all of its different aspects, right? Your finances, your health and wellness area, your relationships, family, work, career, and spirituality, and any others that I've left off, because there's so many. Some people can really break them down and see what is needing a little bit more oomph. Where do you need to put a little bit more energy and time and focus, and which areas maybe need a little bit more rebalancing? Perhaps you're over investing or putting too much. And so this is the Libra energy combined with the equinox, and where we're starting off. I'm making sure I don't leave anything else off. I also wanted to say something about connecting to our inner selves, because this season, as we continue moving toward the winter solstice, right? The days are going to keep getting darker and longer. I think I said shorter in the beginning. They're getting longer. And so the darkness that we go through, it's paramount, because that connects us to ourselves, our shadows. It gives us a lot of time to contemplate, to really connect to ourselves. If you choose to ignore that, you may be missing parts of yourself that may need accepting, loving, integration. And this is, the whole season is a wonderful opportunity to get in touch with those, I'll just say, quote unquote, darker elements of ourselves. And I don't think they're dark or light, they just exist. And so this is something to keep in mind as we continue moving on, because there's going to be a lot of other, we'll just say, astrological events happening, and simply depending on where you are in your own spiritual journey, things happening for you to acknowledge, to heal, to let go. And it's all cyclical, right? This is all part of this season that we are all going through. I think that's it. Oh, I did want to say too, be open to releasing anything. Some of you may get light bulb moments. I was getting that this morning. My notes do not want to stay up. Screw it. I'm surrendering. Let the notes fall. I kept getting the message too about just letting things go, like a leaf, because I kept getting leaves falling. You know, when leaves, when deciduous trees, when their leaves fall, they fall to the ground, right? And then they turn brown if they weren't already a certain color by the time they fell. Sometimes when you just hit a wall in your life with any situation, person, place, thing, or anything that's just not allowing movement forward or progress forward, the season teaches us about, okay, breathe in, breathe out, and use that out breath and release and let go. Doesn't mean you're forgetting, but there's a semblance of detachment there. And this equinox is really too about detaching from things that are not going in the way that you want, are things that are out of your control in essence, right? And so I don't want to say anything else because I could keep going on that. I really wanted to give a brief overview about this equinox and how you can understand it and how you can use it for yourself. Ultimately, like I always say in all of my videos, always trust your intuition. If you're like, you know what, screw the shadow work and the inner work, I'm not doing it, don't do it. But follow your intuition and let your soul guide you on the next steps of your own soul mission, on your journey, on your evolutionary path, what it is that you may need to tend to, what you may need to grow into, and what it is that you just need to focus on more. Because your soul, your intuition will never lead you astray. And it's really important we really stay connected in that aspect. So, oh, and I forgot this because I didn't want to miss this opportunity to include a few journal prompts and also some ways to celebrate. So for celebrating, obviously, again, use your intuition, but the fall is about connecting to nature and about connecting to the changes that are coming, right? Because the fall is about death, letting go. Metaphorically speaking, it's about releasing and shedding things that are no longer in existence within us, no longer who we are. And many of us have been feeling that, and we are coming into a new space, right? We are coming into a new being, recognizing and reconnecting to newer versions of ourselves. I'll say just upgraded, like computers, right? More fine-tuned versions. And it doesn't make the older versions bad or good in any way. And so for me, when I think of the fall and just equinox and celebrating the start of the season, I think of nature and doing anything in nature, collecting leaves, doing crafts in nature, just taking a walk and really being with the season, with the air, with the ambiance, with the animals, with the flora around you, and just enjoy that moment. Because fall, it really teaches us about not staying in the past, because once those leaves fall, metaphorically speaking, they're gone, right? And eventually they will disintegrate and they will go into the earth, right? And become nutrients for the soil and the food. They will decompose. That's the word I'm looking for. We're not focused on the future yet. It's all about that stillness, right? If you think about all of those music playlists with, you know, they have coffee playlists. Think of that energy of just being. And so find a way to just be, whatever that means to you, whether it's in nature or maybe it's at home with some lights and a cup of hot chocolate or hot cocoa if you like that, or coffee or whatever drink, and with whomever you're around, to celebrate the start of the season and to welcome the changes and not be afraid of the changes, and to just go with it as best as possible. I have 3 journal prompts I'm going to leave you with. 1, what do you need to let go of or clear away in order to invite what you truly want into this season? 2, where can you harness and increase greater intimacy in your life? So we define intimacy in different ways. It's simply just a closeness with yourself and also with others. Where can you be more vulnerable, more open in connecting with others, whether it's with your pets, your children, your family, your significant other, your romantic partner, or whomever you're with. Because Libra season is all about connecting, and it's partnerships, one-on-one. And it can be business and platonic, like I mentioned before too. And 3, what is your intention for this season? You all, thank you so much for being here. I wanted to do this. I'm so excited for this fall. I'm wishing you a beautiful start to the equinox, whether you are up here in the Northern Hemisphere starting the fall, or in the Southern Hemisphere about to start spring, and you are going through a rebirth yourself with the blooming and expansion of nature. So I will see you soon. I appreciate you all. Take care.